Tell me the values, the white values that you believed are being erased by the current American government or prior American governments.
Senator, thank you for that question.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
I know it's bad, but I love him, and I want to let my brother know how I feel about him, because, like, I hate to call him my brother, because, like, I don't see
Well, wait, who you're here to tell your boyfriend that you've been sleeping with your brother?
Yes, but I want my brother to know that I love him, and I want to, like, kind of
you want to be with your brother?
I know, I'm sorry.
I don't even know it's legal.
What a lovely day in the trailer park. That was for all my neighbors.
I would say that it's not, I didn't use the word values, I used the word culture. I think that anytime you have large degrees of mass immigration, you're going to have a change in culture, especially if they're coming from culturally dissimilar backgrounds. And no matter what group it is, if it were in China, it would be the same thing. If it were in New Guinea, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, but tell me about what that means. I mean, culture is values, right? It's expressions of identity. Tell me what is being erased. I mean, give me some examples.
All these lads are sticking up for this country. If there were a war in this country, we'd be the first one there. So all I'm saying is, Mr. Donald Trump, please intervene.
What would you want Trump to do?
I want him to buy England like he wanted to buy Canada and make us a state that we're proud of.
You want to be part of the United States?
Yes.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
I'm going on a march because I want Britain to be back British. I want Britain to be back British. We've got interracial law, and the Muslimic infidel, they're trying to get their law over our country. And it is happening. It's happening in other countries. Everything. It's happening in every country. It's like you've got the Iraqi law that they put down.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
In London, like. We're more or less near London today, but they're trying to put the Iraqi law down on London. They're just trying to put their law down on us, and we can't stand for that.
Which Iraqi law is this?
It's the Muslimic law. They've got their law. Obviously, it's their law, isn't it? Like, there's no one. We can't do anything about that, but we're just trying to stop Muslimic. You've got Muslimic rape gangs nowadays. Fucking, there's 15-year-olds getting raped and everything.
Shh, kid's daddy's been out all day protecting our women and girls. Don't make him angry again.
Of what you believe are being erased about white identity. What is white identity to you?
Well, Senator, thank you for that.
Tell me how it's different than other identities.
Senator, I think the question of identity is something that lots of scholars
I get you can do a sermon on identity, but just tell me how you define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity.
Senator, it would thank you again for the question, and genuinely thank you for finally letting me have a chance to explain some of my comments a little bit. But I would say that, they could be things like going to a certain type of Christian church and that sort of culture, which is very different. I mean, you can all be Christians, right, in a certain environment, but African-American Christians might worship differently than Chinese Christians, that might worship differently than white Christians. Of course, sometimes you have multi-ethnic churches, but things like that, certain types of Anglo-derived culture that comes from our history.
Like what?
Let me think about this. Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, pride that went with that, that would be one example. Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more
But you're
distinct.
worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity.
Senator, again, thank you for
spent a lot of time talking about this and writing about this.
Yeah,
You're struggling with this. But you should be fairly easily, I would assume, able to tell us your thoughts on how white identity is different than other kinds of identity and how it's being erased.
Foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs, and not even working. And they're working.
They take our jobs if they're not working.
Because they do it. They do it. Simple as that. They take our jobs, and they're not even working. They say that they're signing on for a job and they do that job, but they're not even doing the job. They just send their money over to the people, over to their families in a different country. And I don't think that's fair, because they're getting something for nothing and their families are getting something for nothing.
May I ask how old you are?
I'm 17, but I know I'm 17, and I think I speak sense. To referendum? Yeah. Not at all. At the end of the day, right, I think that is a brilliant idea that we left the EU, because there is